Frankly, my house is full. I've got 2 kids running around, 3 years of age and 1 year of age, and I have my aging parent living with us as well. We love them, but damn, you know? So this got me thinking. I bet there are other families in my same situation, and I'd like to help them through this process. So I started to research the exact process in buying land and then building a multi-gen property, a multi-generational property, where everyone has their own legroom and sanity. And now I'd like to share exactly what I've learned. I'm Trent Babb, your Central Texas real estate agent, and I specialize in finding off-market land, RV, and storage facilities here in Central Texas. If you want to see those properties before the public sees them, hit me up, tell me what you're looking for, and I'll respond promptly. Or you can visit trentbabb.ranchroads.com. My website gets smarter the more you search, and you can also look at the comments below and find a link there as well. So for the first part of this video, I'd like to go over how buying land is not like buying a house. Quite frankly, buying land is a totally different process than buying a home in a neighborhood, and I deal with this all the time, and here's what I tell buyers up front. You don't just find a lender, get pre-approved, and start walking properties. Land requires a different type of loan, you have different requirements, and a lot more game planning. If you're financing land, you're usually looking at a land loan if you're buying land and building later. A construction loan if you have a plan in place and ready to go vertical quickly, or the best case scenario and more of an experienced scenario, a one-time closed construction loan that wraps both into one single deal and transaction. But here's the thing, most traditional banks do not like to finance land. You've got to go through a lender that specializes in land loans in Central Texas or your local area. The best option is Capital Farm Credit. They understand Royal Properties, or Texas Farm Credit if you live in Texas, of course, and Austin Bank are also solid options when buying for land, but this depends on your location. And if you're thinking about building multiple homes, which is this subject, the lender is going to want a clear plan in place for your development. You're going to have to approach this with the right team, the right budget, and the right lender, or this is going to end up costing you time and money. So I want to break this down to you like I'm sitting across the kitchen table with you. Now, even though I deal with land transactions all the time, I've never gone through this exact process of buying land to then build a multi-generational property. So I went down the rabbit hole of the lending side from the perspective of a real buyer. And what I actually found surprised me. And the first big difference is that traditional mortgage lenders aren't really built for this. You're not buying a home, you're buying dirt. And the loan terms and products are totally different. And I'm gonna lay out the 3 main routes I discovered for this process. Option 1 is the best option for someone who owns a home and is not experienced with buying land and building later, and that's a HELOC. So if you own a home, like I said, this is your best option. A home equity line of credit gives you flexibility to buy from a traditional bank, because then they'll use your home as collateral if you default on the loan. This makes the process of buying land much simpler to buy now and then to build later. And option 2. Now this is whether you own a home or not. The land loan and then the construction loan. And this is a split approach. You buy the land first and then apply for the construction loan later when you're ready to build. This requires additional prep work, higher down payments concerning the land loan, and more fees because you will be closing 2 transactions, the land loan first and then the construction loan later. So you'll have double the banking fees. And that brings us to option 3, which is a one-time close construction loan. So on this, it's one-time closing, 1 approval, and less headaches if you have the right team. But it's harder to find and to qualify for. This again requires additional prep work like building plans, permits, approvals, and a building timeline. If you're doing this for the first time, this requires a team of experienced professionals and your precise due diligence. The lender is going to want to see a clear plan, and sometimes you may even have to start building within the year. So each option has its pros and cons, but what really matters is what stage of life you're in and how fast you want this process to move. When I'm helping buyers through the process of buying land, this is where most people get caught off guard. They look at the land price and think that's the full picture, but in reality, that's just not the truth. And this is what I tell clients up front. Utilities, if raw land, you're likely bringing in water, septic, electricity. That's $25,000 to $50K depending on your location, and that's after closing. Also, you're gonna have land preparation, clearing brush, grading the land to build the home, building access roads, and also fencing. None of that stuff is factored in the listing price, and this is all after closing. Zoning and deed restrictions. Some properties flat out will not allow multiple buildings on one piece of parcel. That goes for barn doors or even short-term rentals. They won't even allow short-term rentals in the restrictions. So this is a key item to check before you buy the property. And also flood zones. Now, if you're in West Texas, you don't have to worry about this too much. But just because land looks good and it looks like there isn't anything, any water around it, and it's buildable, it's not always so. Always pull the FEMA flood maps. I do so on every piece of property I'm even looking at, and you should too. So the bottom line, Stone Cold said so. I know I've used that before, but I just think it's funny. The cost of land is just the start. If you're planning for a multi-generational property, you've got to factor in everything it'll take to make the land livable and legal. Location matters. So if you're too far out, you're probably lacking utilities, and if you're too close to town, to downtown, or in city limits, then you're probably running into deed restrictions that won't allow you to build multiple homes on one piece of property. And the truth of the matter is, our parents aren't getting any younger. With housing prices, affordable insurance, and care facility costs going up, it just makes more sense to bring the families closer together. But I don't mean cramming everyone under one roof. A multi-generational setup gives everyone space, privacy, and above all, sanity. Let's keep everyone out of jail, right? Plus, if something changes down the road, you've still got a valuable asset that you can sell or pass on. So that's what I've learned when researching this process. If you're thinking about buying land for a multi-generational property, let's connect. I'd love for you to leverage my knowledge of the Bell County real estate market. Drop a comment below or visit trentbab.ranchroads.com to start your land search today. And you can reach out to me directly to schedule a consultation and leverage my knowledge of the Bell County area to find the perfect location for your family and this setup. And hey, if you've already been through this process, let us know in the comments what you did or what you would have done differently. And if you have any tips or tricks, just drop them in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you will be notified anytime another video drops. I'm Trent Babb, your local land buzzard and Central Texas real estate agent. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worries.